Oh, 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 ooh.
Just maxes out your line. That's called peaking.
Isn't that the person that fought Zoro?
Yes, but not the same.
That's Pika.
He also fought King.
I have not watched him fight King yet. They're in the Wano arc now.
Oh, it's working now.
Yeah, I've seen him hit record.
It's-
That's why I've been like peeking and doing all the weird noises to see if it starts off.
Well, let's get this going before it turns off.
Or Monty's computer dies.
Yeah, that too. It started on the first shot.
Hello and welcome to the apocalypse. This is our third attempt at this, as the recording does not like monDe.
No.
So, we decided last time our next game / archetype we're covering is the Uno Reverse archetype, where characters switch sides from good to evil and evil to good. We each picked 2 from each category to do our best with ranking and see how we come about. That's probably what you guys are here for. So, Mage, roll your wheel. See who goes first.
Son of a bitch. You would think I would have had that up and ready to go.
We are not limiting ourselves to just anime. We're picking from all sources of media.
That could get dangerous.
Yes, I have a lot of different forms of media on mine, so I'm very excited.
I mean, Hitler was probably a good guy, and then he decided to go crazy.
Oh my god. What the fuck is that? Oh, you're starting. I swear to God, it's monDe first. If you start with Hitler, I will leave.
I'm just saying.
This motherfucker really said Hitler was probably a good guy.
In the end, he wasn't. He was a baby at some point.
No, in the end, he was not.
Yeah, he changed sides. He went from chaotic to chaotic evil.
Jesus fucking Christ. Who's your first one?
You get to set the pace of the show there, monDe.
What? Why?
Are you picking good or bad first?
Like, bad to good or good to bad first?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna go bad to good first.
Oh, okay.
Because I told you I had like hardly anything prepared, so I'm going off memory on who I picked.
We had already mentioned.
Oh, yes. And our 3 categories, listeners, that we are ranking these off of is predictability, was the switch easy to see coming, consequences, did the switch cause any issues in the world or with the character, and then reasoning. Did the character just have a good reason to switch?
And we're rating them on 1 to 10 this time instead of 1 to 5.
Yes. Maybe I'll get a better chance at winning this time. Okay, go ahead, monDe.
All right. So my first one from evil to good is everybody's favorite DBZ character, Yamcha.
That was not one of the ones I was expecting.
I picked out 4 DBZ characters, and he was not one of them.
Why Yamcha?
Hold on. Time out before he explains. Are we doing just one per show? Or one per universe?
I didn't have that down.
Because I have something I think would be really cool. What if we did one of each way in a universe?
Okay, so like a Yamcha and a Goku Black situation.
Yeah, like you can do one good to bad and one bad to good from each universe.
So like Yamcha bad to good was in Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Technically.
So like you couldn't also pick like Piccolo or Vegeta because they did the same.
Technically, Vegeta is is Dragon Ball Z, not Dragon Ball.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
You just gotta specify Dragon Ball Yamcha.
Yeah, because I mean he was good in all of DBZ.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, go ahead, monDe.
I picked Yamcha because he was very unpredictable because he was a mountain bandit. And I thought he was just going to be one of the background characters that's just like, oh, yeah, he's here. He's bad. Bye-bye. Because he just kind of showed up to, like, steal stuff, and then he found Bulma, and then he just wanted to be with Bulma. And I was like, oh, well, she's just going to kick him to the curb, and that's that. And Nope, he turned out to be like trying to rob people to wanting to be the hero to impress the women and get with Bulma. As for I think it was good he switched because then that added one extra body for the Cybermen to go after during the fight in Dragon Ball Z.
That's the reason he switched so he could be fodder.
He is excellent cannon fodder, yes. I don't think there's hardly any fights he actually wins in Dragon Ball.
Silver, do you want to go first?
It's been so long since I've seen Dragon Ball rating wise or read it. Predictability. You said he was just a bandit. Was he the first character in Dragon Ball series to switch sides?
I believe so, because he was one of the first people, unless you count Bulma when she showed up, because Bulma tried to steal the Dragon Ball first from Goku, and that didn't work.
Well, first she tried to shoot him.
Yeah, so Bulma was technically the first person to show up being mean and then switch sides.
I would say he's the first, like, major.
Yeah.
He's the actual first fighter.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
I'd say predictability wise, probably a 7 for me, since he wasn't all that predictable switching sides that I remember. My rating for his consequence score, he really didn't do much besides become cannon fodder later. So probably gonna go with a 3 because that is enough to help him. I imagine if I remember right, he did help him with other things in the show, just like being friends.
Yeah, he had Par with him, and Par was the person that helped Master Roshi get over his problem with women in Super.
Is it Par or Purr?
I thought it was Para.
Par. And reasoning, just because he got beat up and just wanted Bulma, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than being a bandit. So I'll go an even 5 on that one. Not really the best, but not really the worst reason.
Silver's kind of harsh today. Dang. I am also going to say, predictability wise, I'm going to give him a 7. It falls into my favorite trope of, like, background character becomes major character. Like monDe said, he was just cannon fodder. He just was a nobody, and then all of a sudden he was like, oh, he's actually important. He's a Z fighter now. Consequence, I actually I'm going to say a 6, because I think had he not turned good, he would have just died a normal, like, enemy. Whereas because he turned good, he was able to gain a bunch of power. He's able to train with Roshi, train with Popo, and he actually became he's one of the strongest mortals, which I thought was really cool. And then his reason was because of a woman. So. Also 5. I feel like that's like your baseline, like, did it for a girl kind of thing.
Did it for friendship.
Friendship. Yeah. So mine was 19 total.
So my score for Yamcha was total of 15.
So it's 34 out of 60, which isn't bad, I would say.
That's probably the highest score Yamcha's ever got.
Ooh, I'm next. I have a really fun one, and this isn't technically anime, but I think everyone considers it anime, so I'm going to consider it anime.
Is it Avatar?
I'm picking... Shut up. How did you know?
Because it's on my list too.
Well, it ain't no more. I picked Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. He is mine and a lot of other people's favorite character from the show. So he starts off as this, like, really troubled individual. He gets banished from his kingdom that he's destined to rule. He is scarred literally by his father, who is the evil dictator of the nation, and he's banished to go hunt the Avatar, which is the only way he can restore his honor. However, he ends up flipping in the episode, and I think the reason he flips is really important. He starts to realize that his nation is a lie, and he realizes, like, the propaganda they fed everybody is that the Fire Nation is this incredible, great nation, and they're sharing their gifts with the world, when really they're meant to mimic the Nazis. Like, they're this very evil dictatorship who is committed a genocide. They're wiping out cultures. They're controlling and killing individuals. Like, it's very bad. But because of the propaganda and everything that the Fire Nation is spreading, they all believe that it's just. So him meeting the Avatar and meeting everyone, he realizes that that's bad, and he ends up teaching the Avatar firebending, which is one of the ways he's able to defeat his father. And then he becomes the Fire Lord and ushers in a new age of prosperity and equality. And the other thing I will say is predictability. I don't know about y'all. After the first season, I didn't see that coming at all. It wasn't until like the second season when his uncle becomes a really big prominent figure that I started to be like, oh, this is probably going to happen.
Do you want me to go first?
Sure, I'll let you rip into it first.
All right.
Predictability is kind of low because they were leading into the switch. The first season, he was after him the whole entire time, but then he started living in the Earth Kingdom and just kept showing more and more of him switching sides, I believe. So leading up to the switch kind of makes it more predictable. It wasn't just like an instant switch.
Mhm.
So I'm going to say predictability, it's probably going to be a 4 because they took so long to lead into it till pretty much the end.
That's fair.
Consequences. Did the switch do his desired? Yeah, pretty much. With his help, he was able to learn firebending, meet the original firebenders, the dragons, not be chased by and help fight off Azula.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. So I'd probably say a 10 for consequences. This also helps because Zuko is also on my list.
I think there's like 4 or 5 characters that we're going to have that are overlap, which just happens because we all like the same stuff.
Did y'all have Yamcha?
No.
No, I had 3 other Dragon Ball characters.
And the reasoning was actually very well thought out reasoning, thanks to Uncle Iroh and all his wisdom.
I was this close to picking Iroh instead because I was thinking about like the reasoning for him, and I was like, that would have been a good one.
Yeah, the loss of his son,
Yeah,
being banished with Zuko, seeing everything.
having to murder dragons at his own hand.
Yeah. So I'd say it also a 10 on reason would be my say. Okay, monDe, what's your scoring?
It's pretty similar to yours, but predictability wise, I mean, there was a spot in there where I thought he wasn't going to go good, but then Azula had to go and ruin it.
Oh.
Because it was when him and Kintara were down in the thing, and Kintara's like, oh, I got magical water. I'm going to heal your face because you're nice now.
Mm-hmm.
And then
he flips on her.
Yeah, and Katara's like, wait, what? So I'm going to have to give it maybe a 6 for predictability.
Silver's just untrusting.
As for consequence, I too will have to give it a 10 because it was good that he switched sides because Katara then was able to go get closure for her mother's killer. Because he was all like, oh, I know that firebender. I can take you to him. And she's all like, I'm going to kill you, and then doesn't kill him.
That scene where she stops the rain.
Yeah.
This is about to just turn into an Avatar like fanboy session hosted by me because I love that show.
And then, as Toph said, it was her. Everyone that had gone on an adventure with Zuko has had life-changing experience, and she never got her turn. Sad face.
She did. She went on something with him.
Nope.
Because the one she went in the water, and she was all like, "Oh, Zuko, thank you," and it was Suki that saved her.
That's sad.
It's not her fault she was blind in the water.
Yeah, not her fault. She's blind.
And the reasoning, I too will have to give it a 10 because it was a good thing that he switched because Aang would have been up Shit's Creek without a paddle on firebending.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't going to get over his fear of firebending.
Absolutely not. He was a baby. Well, thanks, guys.
Oh, yeah. So my total for you was 24.
Okay.
For Zuko.
And I think monDe had 26.
Yeah. That's the highest score yet.
Yeah.
I blame the Avatar fanboyness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so it's such a good show. Next is Silver. And then we'll just repeat that.
Wow. I wasn't expecting to be next.
Yeah. I got you, don't worry.
My first one is one that monDe I know will appreciate because he's been watching the show religiously.
Mana.
From One Piece, Nico Robin.
Ooh, Miss Sunday.
Yes, Miss All Sunday. When Nico Robin changes from working with Baroque Works in the Alabasta arc for Crocodile as the second in command, back then she went as Miss All Sunday as her name. What pretty much happened.
So you got to remember, I've never seen this show. And I don't know who that character is. So paint me a picture.
Nico Robin, known as the Devil Child later on, she was joined this, without spoiling too much, I guess, for One Piece fans. She joined the evil organization Baroque Works, which is one of the main first storylines. Then Luffy ends up defeating Baroque Works Crocodile. Well, they're about to be killed by, I believe, a cave-in, or because they were underground fighting, and Luffy ends up saving Robin then. Well, after, and then she disappears. Then later on, when they're leaving Alabaster to go to the next island, Nico Robin, or Miss All Sunday, appears on the boat and is just like, hey, let me join your crew. And Luffy's just like, yes.
Just all good with it.
No hint or indication of her joining the crew whatsoever. The reasoning behind this, she said, was Luffy made her live against her choice because she wanted to just stay down there and die after Crocodile and them were defeated. But Luffy saved her. And since Luffy saved her without her choice, she had nowhere else to return to because she got saved against her will. She just says, let me join your crew. And Luffy agrees. And then she has become an important member of the Straw Hats as the archaeologist. She's one of the smartest on the crew. She can make hands appear. She can read the important poneglyphs that lead to the One Piece.
I love it. They're called poneglyphs. I'll go first then. And this will be the first like blind one that we have, I guess. I'm going to say for predictability, I'll go with a 7 just because of how you described it. Like being very high up in a chain of command somewhere and then immediately flipping is very tough.
Yeah, and the chain of command just disappeared altogether because they defeated and she just joined the others.
She said, I'm gone. Bye.
Yep.
Consequence will do an 8 because I know, like you said, she's very important to the actual Straw Hats, but also she was very important to the other side. So a loss on one side and a positive on the other is very important.
Oh, and she was wanted as a child, even as a young age of a child, from the world government.
Oh, wow.
Because she was from an island of academics who were learning about the 100-year void century that the world government's trying to hide.
Gotcha.
Which kicked off like 2 whole separate arcs about trying to save Robin from the government.
Very cool. Yeah. So we'll say an 8 for consequence. And then for reason, I'll say 5. That is really cool. I'm sure if I had seen the show, it would have more impact. It's fine. It's a cool reason. But so that is, I think, 20 total.
Okay. monDe.
So for predictability on Robin switching sides, like if you didn't watch any spoilers, I would have to give it a 10 because it was super unpredictable because she just randomly showed up on their ship. And yeah, she gave Luffy and them the antidote for Crocodile's poison. But she also like was telling Luffy to get away and like go. But then like you said, Luffy saved her and then just vanished. And like a lot of characters in One Piece, when they vanish, normally they stay vanished.
True.
Just like Mr. 2 when he vanished and nobody knew where he went. And then later on he wound up in Impel Down. And Consequence, I would say I'd have to give that one a 10 as well because the switch did cause a lot of issues for the characters because then now the Straw Hats had more attention on them because once Nico Robin was found out to be with the Straw Hats, now more of the government wanted to come after them. Instead of like, oh, look, yeah, low bounty crew. Oh, look, archaeologists we need to kill. Get them. And then reason behind the switch, I mean, I want to say it's great. She wanted to live, but she actually wanted to die. Luffy was just being a pain and not wanting her to die.
He made her a
So
slave, basically, on accident.
I'm gonna give her a 7 on that one.
27. That's a big one.
That's one more than
Yes.
what you had, and both scores came from me.
I was hoping that one would get a high score, at least from monDe. So
The immediate word that came to him was like, he's just pandering to monDe.
got 2 judges, got pander to one of them.
Yeah.
The one that doesn't know shit. It's like, blind reaction. Let's go.
20. 2/3 is good.
That's still high for a blind reaction.
Yeah. I mean, what you described was pretty cool. I think I know who the character is, but I haven't seen like all that everything. So I know a little bit about it, but I don't know all that. So
You can probably look up a bunch of fan art.
that was what I know, and that's why I'm not going to. And then I believe we're back to monDe.
Am I going bad to good now, or
Up to you. I think we can just do, because I was thinking of time, we could just do 3, and we can just do kind of whichever.
okay?
Because we took half an hour to do 3 bad to goods. Should we do good to bad now and see where we're at time wise?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so good to bad.
Mm-hmm.
I got one. Comes from a good old classic.
It's Dragonball again.
No, Itachi.
You fucker. No, I had him on my list. It was like, this is going to be so good. You're not going to see it coming. No. Kind of like his clan did the night he murdered all of them.
They all didn't see it coming, but Sasuke seen the aftermath.
God damn it.
Poor aftermath.
Tell us about fucking Itachi.
So Itachi was just young, very smart boy in the village, minding his own business, being good. He had the IQ of the Hokage.
He graduated the academy at the second youngest age to the current to the fourth Hokage.
Yeah. So he was just being good, doing his missions, joined Anbu at I think age of 13.
He was an Anbu captain at 13.
Yeah. So he did really good with protecting the village. And then according to the villager, one night he just like snapped and went and killed all his family and clan. Then he was all just like, you know what, little brother, you're still alive. We'll let you tell the tale. Not gonna kill you. Use this hatred to kill me. And then he went off and joined an evil syndicate of crime organization and went and captured like innocent Jinchuriki and was like doing all sorts of bad shit. Like the consequences of his actions were definitely following him. Earned him one of the top spots in a bingo book. He was not very well liked, and he was pretty powerful.
Can I start this one?
Yeah, you can, since he was on your list.
Yeah. So he was on my list as bad to good. Because he's one of the rare characters that does both. So what you're describing, it is a bad thing, right? He is a good to bad character. Predictability, I think, I'm going to give it a 9 because like his entire clan, no one really saw it coming. He was deemed a prodigy because like he was an Anbu captain. He was the intelligence level Hokage. He was the best shuriken user ever. Everyone was talking about like him being a potential Hokage in the future. And then all of a sudden he murdered the strongest clan in the village and left, which is wild. Consequence, I'm going to give Consequence a 10 because, spoilers for anyone that hasn't seen Naruto Shippuden, it does set out to do what he is supposed to do, which is to capture all the Jinchuriki, to save his brother, to save the world, literally. Like he's one of the only characters that knows about the plans and everything and to protect his brother. He does this to create the best version of Sasuke he can in order to save the world. And for reason, I gotta give it a 10 too. For that exact reason. So Consequence, he saves the world. Reason is to save the world. So it's a fucking 28. Oh, sorry, 29. My bad.
New high score.
It's the closest to perfect I can give you.
I lost a point for stealing his character.
Yeah, that's 100% what it was. I will not. Mm-mm. I will admit that, and I'm a sore loser. It's fine.
My turn?
Yep.
Yeah.
Might be a little harsh.
Dang.
Oh, I figured it was coming.
Predictability
I
wise,
forgot how much you hate Sasuke.
his clan didn't see it coming, but the readers and watchers already knew about it beforehand.
Because he's introduced as...
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
introduced as a bad guy at first, and then they went to the backstory. So
That's
that
fair.
loses a little bit from his clan didn't see it coming.
You're right.
That's for sure.
Which is crazy, because they can see the fucking future.
Some of them.
Yeah, not enough.
So predictability, I'm going to have to go with a 7. Still on the high range. Consequences, since he went from good to bad, is set up the Sasuke wanting revenge on everything. Sasuke going to Orochimaru because he wanted power to defeat Itachi. It set up the whole scene between Naruto and Jiraiya inside the Great Toad's mouth because Itachi was there to capture Naruto.
Oh, yeah, and Itachi's like, yeah, peace out. I don't want to fight a Sanin.
Yep. He did not want to fight Jiraiya. Yeah, then he was part of the Akatsuki, which also like was one of the main characters there. I think he also helped get Orochimaru kicked out of the Akatsuki.
I think so, if I remember right.
There was some reasoning behind that.
He always had some issue with... Because once he found out Orochimaru wanted Sasuke for his second vessel, he was like, nah, I don't want you here.
And was he really all that bad, or was he just still secretly on the good ninja side? Just a rogue?
I mean, if we're going good from bad to good style, he was delivering intel secretly to the village somehow.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever found that out.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Because there was no one in the village that knew.
The third Hokage. Because once the third Hokage died, is when Itachi came back to the village to check on Sasuke.
Oh, true. Damn, I didn't even think about that. That's crazy.
Because that led to the whole Kakashi versus Itachi fight.
So was he actually ever bad? Yes, because he's still killing random Jinchuriki.
He still murdered a lot of people. He still killed so many people just to create Sasuke.
His body count's still high.
I mean, to be fair, his entire village, his entire clan was planning to do a takeover.
There's probably that one girl that he liked that was not going to do a takeover.
Yeah, he created an entire life for her in 6 seconds or something like that. And then her heart just stopped.
Yeah. So consequences, 8. And reasoning behind it, because he didn't want a war in the town and he was loyal to the village, pretty much. So let's say an 8 as well.
So 23.
Pretty good. You stole it. That's another one stolen.
Yeah, it was on both of our lists, I think.
Now we need to steal one of monDe's, but he doesn't have a list, so it's hard to steal something from him.
I'm going off pure imagination.
Okay, Mr. Blue Mage, Super Mage.
Mr. Blue Mage.
Super Blue Mage.
So good to bad, huh?
You're blue on my sticky notes.
I have 3, and I'm trying to decide. The one is a manga that you guys haven't, I don't think you guys have read up to yet. And I don't want to do that one. The one is like a movie series that I'm sure you're familiar with, but I don't know what it would do. And the other one's a show I don't think monDe has seen.
monDe's still on One Piece, so his new anime vocabulary is a little low.
I know. I'm actually... We mentioned this one the other day when we were talking about it, and I really liked it, so I wrote it down. Jaden Yuki from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
No, that would have been another good one. Damn you.
As soon as I had it already written down and you said it, and I was like, please don't fucking remember that. So Jaden is the protagonist of, or Judai in the dub, That's like one of the only shows I like the sub more than the dub. So Judai is the main protagonist of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. He goes to Duel Academy. He's one of the star students there, but he's the slacker, so he doesn't move up. Old trope and everything. And in, I think it's the third or fourth season, he is possessed by the spirit of Yubel, who, spoilers for the show if you haven't seen the show from 2004, he's possessed by the spirit of Yubel, which is an old card that his father had created for him, and that he launched into space as part of like a project through, I think it was through like Maximilian Pegasus or something. And the card ended up returning and possessing him because it was angry. The spirit of Yubel was angry that he had forgotten Jaden. As I'm saying this, I don't think Yubel possesses him and turns him into the Supreme King.
No, it possesses Jesse.
That's what I'm thinking. What possesses him to become the Supreme King then?
The hatred that he harbors towards the shoot, you used him a lot. Dark Worlds? Because when he's fighting the Dark World monsters, he sacrifices his like friends pretty much. So
that's what it's his hatred towards himself.
Yeah.
He's angry. Yeah, he's angry because he like succumbed to the darkness and sacrificed his elemental heroes during a duel.
But you're right. He does fuse with Yubel, but he uses super polymerization.
Yes. So he uses the super polymerization card, and then that ends up creating the Supreme King. So, and he becomes, yes, with Yubel. He becomes very evil. He secludes himself and creates his own world. He kills multiple people in the series. Like they obviously it's a kid show and they're like sending them to the stars. He sends multiple people like into an alternate dimension and they die, which is wild.
I mean, they never come back, so
yeah. But yeah, it was a pretty cool moment, and it went on for like a season. I think it was my favorite arc of the series, if I'm being honest.
What was his reasoning? Oh, just because he hated himself?
It was the hatred inside of him. And I think Yubel was part of the reason, if I remember right. And then he used super polymerization, which like fused him and Yubel together, which created the like that hatred. Yeah, as I was saying it, he sacrificed Tyranno Hasselberry, Alexis Rhodes, and Atticus Rhodes during a duel with the Mad King of Dark World. He let his hatred and anger take over and take control of him. And then he became the Supreme King.
Didn't he sacrifice Silas?
Cyrus? I don't think that was till later.
Yeah, because he blamed himself for being too weak, I think.
Yeah. And then he vowed to never be weak again. So in order to never become weak again, he was like, oh, I'll just fucking kill everybody.
I guess I'll go first.
Mm-hmm.
Predictability. Pretty unpredictable that you just turn evil. But I guess after sacrificing friends, but usually the shonen antagonists don't turn evil.
I think that was why I liked it so much. It was very like, because you had Yugi, who was always the pillar of like, he is the good guy.
Yeah. I mean, depends how you look on sending people to Shadow Realm.
Well, he was good. Atem was not.
Oh, that's the way we're playing that one.
He was like, oh, I was a pharaoh. I have slaves.
Predictability wise, I have to say a 8. Consequence. Well, did he just go around killing people after he became?
Yeah, his goal was to create like, so the dimension he was in. I don't know if it was like an alternate dimension. His goal was to create like the perfect world that he controlled. So he would never be weak again. He would be the strongest. So he would never have to sacrifice friends again.
Yeah, because that's when the evil hero showed up.
Yeah.
Okay, so brought about a whole new card set, new world-ish, new antagonist. Probably 8 as well. Could have been more evil.
He very well could have been more evil, yeah.
The reasoning behind it, he just wanted power and just wanted to not lose his friends after sacrificing them himself.
Yeah.
Not really the best of reasons.
I'll give you that.
Probably 5. So a total of 21. Okay, monDe.
I appreciate your patronage.
Okay. So for predictability, on sending the main character down the spiral staircase of hatred. I'm going to have to give it a 10 because I didn't see, like, who would have saw that coming? Like, him going that bad.
Especially, like, I think you mentioned the evil heroes. His entire card set was about, like, being a hero and doing the right thing. And then all of a sudden it was like, hey, by the way.
It's like, where did you just get all these evil hero cards? Like, did you just have them in your back pocket? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
As for the consequences, I mean, it did cause quite a bit of a unstableness for the world and with the other characters, because he killed off the other characters, pretty much sacrificing them for his other stuff, and he was drawing closer to what I think Bell wanted him to be, if I remember right, because I think Bell had a hand in it somewhere, because she's the one that sent him.
I thought he did too. Yeah, I'm looking through right now to figure it out.
Because at some point they got Zane in there, and Zane and Jesse were the two where that battle strikes me, because Jesse had Bell. I can't remember, because besides fusing with Bell, I can't remember how Jaden acquired Bell if he did use her for Supreme King. Because Jaden forgot how to duel for fun. That was his main reasoning for going evil.
Mm-hmm.
So, consequences, I'm going to have to give it a 9. And reasoning, I mean, I'm not a big fan of switching for power. Like, I feel like it's always switching for power or something like that. So I'm going to have to give reasoning maybe like a 4. So that's what? 23?
Perfect. All right, Silver, what you got?
Okay. Since we've been doing anime, I think we should move on to a different type of animation. How about some Pixar?
Oh, you fucker. These are going to be good.
A character that went from good to bad. I believe it's Pixar from the movie I know you both have seen called The Incredibles.
Wow.
Oh my. Wonder which character this is going to be.
Buddy Pines.
Also known as
Sinestro.
Nope.
No. Sinister?
Sinestro. Nope.
Oh.
Do you want to know what it is?
You just made me blank.
It's it's Syndrome.
Yes, also known as Syndrome. You made me blank on it. He's close to Sinestro.
Pretty close, yeah. Very similar.
They both start with S, yes.
So Buddy Pines from The Incredibles is the main antagonist, but he wasn't originally the main antagonist.
Incredible.
He at first wanted to be Incredilad or Incrediboy.
Incrediboy. I'm Incrediboy.
Mr. Incredible's sidekick. But he has no powers. Mr. Incredible just kind of kept kicking him away. But he was super smart and had a bunch of gadgets.
He built like rocket boots. He was like 10.
Yeah.
And he had like rocket powered boots and like, I was like, that's crazy.
Predictability of seeing it coming. Well, he's the main antagonist of the show, but you didn't really know you didn't know that he was trying to be Mr. Incredible's sidekick at first until later on. And he sets up a whole bunch of trickery in order to lure him in to capture him. And then the whole family had to come and ruin his plan. So the consequence of him switching was he destroyed a lot of the city. He made the giant spider ball, right?
Yeah.
He captured Mr. Incredible. He got Mr. Incredible's family to work together as a team. And the main consequence, his inevitable. Yes. Inevitable. Whatever.
Yeah.
His death, because he did die.
Yeah.
I don't care how strong a suit you got, can suck through an airplane engine. Usually means death.
Yeah, you did. monDe, what was your hand raised for?
I was gonna say, I don't know if it's gonna help Silver much, but didn't he also kill like a crap ton of superheroes?
I was gonna bring that up when
He did.
I did mine.
Because
Um,
of all the bones.
yeah, no, so I'll go first. Predictability 10. It was so unpredictable in the show because they don't introduce a villain until what, like an hour into the movie, and
Yeah.
then you're like, oh, who's this random guy? And then he tells about his backstory, and I will admit, I'll get to reason in a second. It's very unpredictable. Consequence, I'm gonna do a 7 because he does ultimately. I won't say he's easily defeated, but like fairly easily defeated. He doesn't have powers. The only thing he has is the ray gun thing that he can shoot with his finger, which is pretty powerful, but he's defeated by a toddler. And then they have to go defeat like the ball thing he made. But reasoning as well, the reason behind him wanting to kill Mr. Incredible and the Incredibles is he wants to create a world without superheroes because and then he can sell his technology to everybody because if everybody is super, nobody is, was his reasoning, because he obviously got kicked out by a superhero and he killed a bunch of he killed a bunch of heroes to do it. Like, and what you were saying, the cape thing was enforced before that happened because it was a bunch of like when Mr. Incredible got his first suit to go on the island.
Yeah.
Was when Edna said that, when she was like, no capes, and talked about all of them getting sucked into jet engines. So I said, well, predictability 10, consequence, we'll say an 8 for consequences. And then reason, I'm going to go a 6. It's a good reason, but I think that it could have been higher. He could have had a better reason for, it's not as much as reason, it's as much like what his plan was. Of like, oh, I'm just going to sell my technology to get rich. You could just do that anyway. Like, you're just doing this out of spite to kill superheroes, like, which is fine, but say that's your reason.
It's another revenge plot.
Yeah, just another revenge plot. 24. monDe?
Well, I'm going to have to agree with Mage on the predictability because he also was like, oh, he's going to be like the next Robin. It's going to be fine. Then Mr. Incredible's like, oh, you see this boot? Bye. So I'm going to have to give you a 10 on predictability as well.
Okay.
And consequences, I mean, he was a pretty bad dude. He killed people, he destroyed half a city. I mean, he brought some heroes out of retirement because of his actions.
Where's my super suit?
So I'm going to have to give him a 9 on consequences.
Okay.
And for reasoning, I mean, he just wanted to be known for something. Mr. Incredible's over there like putting him down, like suppressing the man. Like he's got a good reason. He wants to make everything equal. So
I can't get over that you just said suppressing the man. Like this is a 70s March on Washington.
So
that's a very reverse boys take.
I mean, I'm gonna have to give him like an 8 for his reasoning because it was pretty great. Like he was just trying to bring quality to the place, even if it did require a few little stitches.
Dang, it's 27.
It's 227 in a row from monDe.
Was it?
27 was Robin as well.
Oh, it was. I mean, the guy did get done in by an airplane, so you can't give him too much credit.
He's a normal dude.
At that point, he is literally just a normal guy. monDe, you are. So, what do we want to do for the third? Just dealer's choice?
Yeah, we'll do dealer's choice. We still got some time. So, for our third round, we're doing dealer's choice. So, we can either pick a good or bad and try and get as most points as we can.
Okay, I got one. This is. Oh, no. Because we said no out of the same universe, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a good one. Team Rocket.
So, good to bad or bad to good?
Yes.
We're going to go bad to good because those Uno cards are flipping like almost every other episode.
What specific moment are you pointing to?
We're going to go with the time James was being taken against his will back home to marry Jezebel. and Team Rocket then was like, oh, you know what? We're going to team up with the twerps and save them. So they went from bad on one episode to good because they were trying to be friendly and friends.
You want to go first, Silver?
No, you can go first.
Predictability is a 5 because they did it every episode. So predictability we'll say is a 5. Consequence, I'm going to give it like a 3. It's very selfish reasons for the first part, but also they never really do anything that's really like bad.
They steal Pokemon.
Okay, they try. But like they never actually succeed doing anything bad. So because of that, I feel like them switching doesn't have any consequence. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, okay, well, whatever. They go back to being evil. Okay. Or they become good. Cool. And I think reason, like I said, that's kind of a childish reason, but I mean, it does give them like reason to team up with them. So we'll say like a 7, I would say. So 15.
Yeah, Team Rocket's not really the best of choices, I don't think, for a flip flop because they do it so much.
That's why.
So predictability, I'd have to say at least a 2. For consequences, I mean, they go back to being evil the next episode.
Yeah, it's literally just, hey, we're evil again.
It's just for that plot to get James to not be married to Jezebel.
Yeah.
They teamed up with the twerps, as they call them. I'd still say probably a 2 as well. It wasn't a very good reason or good consequences because it didn't really do much.
Hey monDe, what category are you picking for the next episode?
So I'm gonna have the highest score and the fucking lowest score probably.
Reasoning, still not a very good reason. They could have teamed up with literally anybody else inside Team Rocket. Giovanni, even though Giovanni hates them. I mean, the only friends they actually have is with the kids.
Who were the Butch and Cassidy?
Butch and Cassidy. No, they hate each other too.
They hate each other too.
I mean, their only friends is those kids that they come to, and friends is a loose term. So reasoning, I'd say probably 5 because the friends.
That was higher than I thought you were going to give me.
I think you gave him a 9.
It's a 9 total.
You didn't crack 30. That's a rough one.
I mean, and to be honest, I was expecting Silver to give me another 2. He favors 2s.
Yeah. But friendship is a base 5 for a reason. Because that's anime trope.
So my last 2 ones, I'm stuck between 2. The one is like a TV show, a TV movie, I guess. And the one is a show that I'm pretty sure Silver has seen, but I don't know about. I think monDe might have seen it. I'm going to go with Magneto from X-Men.
I've seen the movies.
That could go either way, good to bad or bad to good.
Yeah. I'm going to pick specifically when he goes good to bad from the original X-Men.
Animated or comics?
I think
Oh, you stumped him.
Is he good in the animated series at all? I thought he just starts out as evil.
97 he's good.
Yeah, in 97 he's good. I know monDe hasn't seen that, so.
Then he turns bad.
We'll go 97 because I think it's fresh in my brain. I think it's cool.
That's most relevant. Yeah.
So Magneto in X-Men 97, which is pretty new. In the show, it starts off with Professor Xavier being presumed dead.
So spoiler warning.
Yeah, spoiler warning. Sorry. It's been out for 2 weeks. Go watch it. Highly recommend. It's been longer than 2 weeks, like, actually, right? It's been like a month.
It's like 4 months, I think. 3 months.
Super good. Go watch it. Yeah. Charles Xavier is dead. Presumed dead. So because of that, his X-Men in the mansion and everything are being left in his will and testament to Magneto, who everyone thinks is going to just disband the X-Men and continue to be a crime lord like he has been in the past. However, he actually leads the X-Men and tries to use them as a force for good and tries to drive them into equality, which I think is very unpredictable. Because like I said, most people just assumed that he was going to disband the X-Men and go about his merry way. consequences for it, he actually becomes a very pivotal piece in the show. And you can see he's trying to like change and be good and do positive things. He's trying to create equality for mutants. And it's actually humankind that fucks him over. And I think this, as far as the reasoning behind it, I think that's very good. He just wants. I didn't realize until the show. I think I knew it maybe at one point. He was a Holocaust survivor, so I think he really saw like what inequality looked like. He lived through a genocide, so the fact that he saw that and still was able to give humanity a chance is incredible to me.
I got one thing just to interject in here.
Sure.
As you're going on. This is the third time we mentioned the Nazis and Holocaust and Hitler.
I have another one that was close to that as well, which was Anakin Skywalker. All mine were about equality. So sorry.
Which seems to be a reoccurring topic with switching sides.
Yeah. You either switch and go hard or you stay the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is my guy.
Okay, so I'll go first since I know a little more about Magneto than monDe. Magneto switches sides often, but I was not expecting him to take over for Charles Xavier as being the good guy team leader of the X-Men and not changing the name from the X-Men to the M-Men.
I really thought that's where it was going. I'm going to geek out over this show.
So it was kind of unpredictable that he'd be introduced. So I'm going to give it a 10. Consequences. It pretty much set up the rest of the show because everybody else still hated Magneto.
Yeah.
Even the X-Men. The only one that kind of started to slowly come around to him was Rogue. And that's because they had relations beforehand.
Yeah, it was just because she wanted to bang him.
Mm-hmm. And it also brought about the end of the technology era when he did his magnetic pulse just to end it.
Yeah, spoiler alert as well. That scene was that entire 3 episodes, I think, 3-parter is fucking crazy.
And he was also the reason Storm, spoiler warning, lost her powers temporarily.
Mm-hmm. She did it jumping in front of him, right?
Yeah, he was going to get shot to make him lose his powers, but she took the bullet for him. She became the Yamcha. They had to get rid of a strong character somehow.
Yeah, they had at that time 4 Omega level mutants on the team. And I was like, one of you guys got to go.
Jean Grey, Scott Summers, I don't think is technically Omega level.
No, you had 2 genes because at that point you had the clone as well.
Yes.
But I guess the other one isn't technically on the team at that point.
Yeah.
So you had you had Phoenix, you had Magneto, you had her. When Morph comes back, I think he's considered an Omega level.
Because he can copy abilities.
He can copy anyone's abilities. And Rogue.
Yeah.
So you 5 Omega level mutants. Wild.
So consequences, I'm going to have to give it a 9. I mean, there could have been more.
Yeah, I agree.
And reasoning for his switch, it's because his friend asked him to.
Fulfilling the wish of his dead best friend.
Yep. Dead air quotes. I mean, friendship is base 5. He wanted to be good. And this was more of a reason to reach out to the mutants, I believe, in order to help with equality. So I'd say 7 on the reason. Because he does switch back to bad pretty.
Yeah.
Wait, we're doing good to bad, right? Not bad to good?
Yeah, when he goes good to bad. Or no, sorry, I guess it'd be bad to good. Because it's the beginning of the series.
Yeah. Because it's both technically. Because he was originally a bad guy. That's why they hate him. Because he's good.
Yeah.
Then he goes from good to bad when he tries to end the world.
I think that plays into how much I love this because there's so many layers to the show. I think that played into really how much he was trying to be good is how much he came back. Because he was like, I am actually giving this effort and you guys are still saying you hate us.
Yep.
That's such a good character. So 26, was that right?
Yeah.
monDe.
Oh boy. Well, this is definitely blind because I know nothing about this 97's Magneto.
Go fucking watch it. It's so good.
It's on Disney Plus, which is your part of the subscription stuff.
I'm aware, but I'm busy using your part of the subscription stuff with One Piece.
Can you hurry up and catch up with One Piece already so you can watch X-Men 97 and DBZ Abridged?
I'm getting there. Look, episode 913. That's where I'm at. There's only like 1,000 some episodes.
1875.
I think it's close to 1,100 episodes now.
Oh, I want to throw up.
We don't know if they're all dubbed yet. I'm going to go till they're all not dubbed anymore.
Okay, so you get like 10 episodes.
Yeah, you're close.
Okay, but anyway, so just from the way you were saying it, you went from good to bad, right?
Yeah, or no, bad to good.
I mean, Magneto is already one of the sketchy characters because he's like, he wants to kill things, but he doesn't want to kill things, and he hates Charles Xavier one minute, and the next minute he's like, "Oh, we're best friends. Come here."
Yeah, fair.
So I'm gonna have to give it a 7 on predictability and consequence. I mean, Magneto is one of the ones that is pretty good at setting off chain reactions throughout the whole series.
See Planet M.
So I'm gonna have to give that one an 8. In reasoning, I mean, if he did it for friendship, I mean, I have to give it a 7 on friendship.
Hooray for friendship. That's a 22.
Yeah, quick math.
And Silver, your last character.
Okay, for my last one, my original thought was to play my card of Scrappy-Doo from the Scooby-Doo movie.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, no. The classic.
I fucking
Mage's reaction. That is who I'm going to be.
I hate you. I hate you so
fair.
much.
It's
the classic live-action Scooby-Doo movie.
Side note, I actually really like this movie. It's one of those like not dumb movies, but like it was rated just low enough that nobody really likes it, which I think is why I like it, because it's not great, but it's fun. So every time I watch it, I'm like, this is hilarious.
And all the behind-the-scenes things you see on Twitter and stuff of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool.
Like how Velma is supposed to just be in her bra dancing on a table.
Yep. But they were like, oh, this is a kid's movie.
Yep. And the CG in it is just great.
It is.
So tell us about how Scrappy is unpredictable.
Yeah, which way you going here? Good to bad?
Yeah.
It's definitely good to bad, because in the cartoon version of Scooby-Doo, where Scrappy-Doo is included, he's good. Scrappy always wants to fight people. This time, Scrappy ends up luring the gang to the amusement park with, I believe, missing people.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Shaggy gets a girlfriend in this process, called Mary Jane.
the little subtleties of it.
So no one figures out it's Scrappy until the very end.
Yeah.
Where he is piloting a human mech.
Also, you forgot the best part. The mech is Mr. Bean from Mr. Bean movies.
And he pops out of this Mr. Bean mech's chest. And it's like, it's Scrappy. Where he was harvesting souls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scrappy was harvesting souls in order to defeat these kids.
They went from a kids show of we're gonna capture men en masse to I have an evil entity that I am going to capture souls for and become a demon lord in a movie.
Oh, yeah. He did absorb the souls, didn't he?
Yeah, he became huge.
He became huge and mutated.
Yeah, they pop like the thing off his chest, and all of a sudden they all like the souls like shoot out of him.
Yeah, return to the bodies. That's right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And then he starts shrinking down. And it's just left with him and his monstrously large head. He's just kind of wobbling around.
Oh, all the memes.
This was a very thought out person.
Go ahead, monDe.
I mean, Silver pretty much doesn't even have to explain anymore. Predictability wise is 100% a 10. Because Nothing prepared me for that.
Yeah,
No,
spoilers for
not a
mine
hint.
too. He's getting a 10 for predictability. It was the most out of left field thing ever.
And if I remember right, Scrappy Doo's not even in the movie till the very end, isn't he?
Mhm.
He
Right.
doesn't. Does he go to the park with him?
No, they
No.
show him. He pops out of the mech and then he like says, "Do you remember the last time you saw me?" or something like that. And then they flash back to when they kicked him out of the van, like
Yeah.
years and years ago, and that was it.
Because didn't he pee on Daphne's dress or something?
Yeah, he was like being a dick, saying how he wanted to lead the team and
Yeah.
everything, and then he started peeing on Daphne, and they kicked him out.
The consequences.
We all know who Scrappy Doo is now.
We all know who Scrappy Doo is.
That's the consequence.
I would say, as my defense for the consequences, it leads to the superpowered Shaggy memes for the movie.
Oh, fucking course it does.
Because without, is it Matthew Lillard?
Yeah.
Without him playing the role of Shaggy, we wouldn't have all the superpowered Shaggy memes.
This is the worst day of my life compared to what every other freaking day of my life.
That's my defense.
I mean, yeah, consequences. I'm gonna give him an 8 because I mean it's flipping Scrappy, and that just caused emotional damage for fucking everybody.
Emotional damage.
And reasoning. I mean, this goes back to the whole revenge thing and wanting power. But I mean, he really went a little overboard on his, like, stealing other people's souls. Like, he could have just narrowed the fucker down to, like, just them, but he went all out just to prove a point.
Yeah.
I gotta give him an 8 on that one, too.
26. That's a good one. Yeah. God, you dick. That was a really, really good one.
I said all sources of media. I had to.
Yeah, fair.
He did.
That's why when I asked to narrow it down, you're like, no, I'm good. Because you had the least anime out of all of us, which is crazy.
Then I went anime all out.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, mine was animated at one point, and then this just happens to be the live action version.
That's fair. That's very fair. Predictability is a 10. No, nobody fucking saw this coming. Unless you were on the show or created the show. I will say consequences. I'm going to go a 7. He did steal souls out of people's bodies. Like, we're very quick to forget that because, like, it's undone very fast and very flimsily because it's a movie and it needed to be. But he literally, I mean, if he was able to take those, it not murdered a bunch of people, like thousands of people.
He gained control over them.
He mind controlled thousands of people.
I forgot about that.
He created a fucking army, which is wild.
Because there's one point where he has Mary Jane grab Scooby-Doo by the neck and hold him up.
Yeah, and like hold him up in the air.
I forgot about that part.
Or just like when God, I love this movie. The monsters from the movie are so cool. They're like really long-legged. They have like bunny rabbit ears. So funny.
The only weakness is sun.
Yeah. And they're on an island full of it. Surprise. Reasoning, I'm going to give it a 3 because he's fucking Scrappy Doo. His reasoning was very flimsy. He did it because he was mad at them and he wanted to take over the world. Actually, I don't even know if he wanted to take over I think he did, right?
I don't remember.
That proves my point, is that I think it was to take over the world, but I can't really remember.
I mean, why start on the island if you want to take over the world? Go like New York or something.
That's where the like pit thing is for the souls.
Oh yeah.
He had to for like the ritual and everything.
People in New York, I'm not targeting you. I just know it's a really big place.
Mm-hmm, sure. If you live in New York, be very careful.
There's Spider-Man there. They'll be fine.
Oh my god.
So what was your total score? I missed the last one. For reason was a 3.
Yeah. So 21.
Oh, now I have an honorable mention now when we get to them.
Let's do an add up our scores real quick.
Yeah,
let's add up our scores and we'll say our honorable mentions.
So if I added mine up right, I have 144.
I have 110.
I have 145.
God damn it.
That means I'm the winner of this time by 1 point.
So we are going to keep like a scoreboard as we go here. So I have 1 win and Silver has 1 win.
I lost by 1 point last time.
And you won by 1 point this time.
One point by 1 point this time.
God, I was too generous with Scrappy. Fuck. I should have been a dick. Fuck you, it wasn't predictable.
I have the highest score of 29, and I have the lowest score of 9.
We can all see here how lack of preparation reflects in your score.
Only on the last team where I'm panicking.
Yeah, fair.
And how the maker of the game might have a little higher chance of winning.
Yeah.
Being the maker of the scorecard.
Yeah, that's fair. So monDe gets to pick for the next one what we do. I'm terrified.
We'll give you some time to think, monDe, before the end of the show, as we will go through our honorable mentions, starting with Mage.
My list was pretty long. You guys hit a couple of mine actually, or like similar. I had Piccolo from DBZ, Bad to Good. I had Vegeta as well from Good to Bad when he went Majin, because I was going to argue hard for that one. Obito from Naruto, who went both. He was Good to Bad to Good. You said Itachi. Anakin Skywalker from Star Wars, who did both, because he was a Jedi to Sith and then killed the Emperor, so he went back to a Jedi. Matt, have you seen Invincible?
Yes.
I was going to pick Omni-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought that was a good one. But I was like, I know monDe hasn't seen that.
I've seen bits and pieces on TikTok.
Gotcha. So I was going to pick him.
It's good.
Because it's very good. Highly recommend. Especially the first season. And then, Silver, have you read Black Clover?
No.
Okay. I won't spoil it then with my last one from that, because it's very recent. But very good. So highly recommend. That was mine.
Okay. I didn't have a long list for my honorable mentions, but Ken Ichijoji from Digimon 02, otherwise known as
Digimon Emperor.
That's a good one. I like that one. Dang, I really like that one actually.
Damn it.
With Bugmon.
Wormmon.
Oh, Wormmon, sorry.
Yeah, because he was important to this entire storyline because he was the DNA Digivolution partner.
Yeah.
Then there was also the Dark Spirit Digidestined from 03. Was that 04?
I think it was 04. Yeah.
Yeah, from Spirit Digivolution.
I definitely think Silver just went on Digimon Wiki and was like...
Then there was also Kylo Ren for a more recent Star Wars take.
Yeah. Oh my god. We're going to get into a rant. We're going to get into a rant with that. Listen, I am so mad at how they ended. They had a golden opportunity to have him be this really great savior and come back and, save everybody. And then he dies and he brings back Rey and dies himself. And I was like, that's not fair, man. He had such a good redemption arc. He was such a cool character. And then they just fucking killed him. I was so mad.
Technically Han Solo as well, since he was the smuggler. He was kind of evilish there.
He was pretty anti-hero back then.
But yeah, I just had those ones.
I like that we all had, there's very few that like we didn't know of each other's. I like that a lot. What was your honorable mention, monDe?
Oh, yeah, I thought of two of them as
Okay.
I was sitting here. One of them is, this is a pair, actually.
Oh, Jesus.
Is Wichita and...
Oh, Wichita and Little Rock from Zombieland.
Because they went from good to bad to good to bad, like flip-flop.
Yeah. They played jump rope with that line for a little bit.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. And then Serpentious, because he went from...
Yes, technically good. He went from bad to good because he redeemed himself.
Who dat?
From Hazbin Hotel. You should go watch it.
Yeah, I need to watch it. It's on my list.
It's very good.
Oh, spoiler warning.
It's
fine.
been out.
I'll put a list of spoilers in the beginning. Just spoiler warnings for the following shows.
Go ahead and do that. I have no, it's on me. It's been out for like 6 months.
Yeah.
It's like when people do spoiler warnings for shows that have been out like 10 years. It's like, no, come on.
Oh, I have another one that is really well known. I just thought of
What's that?
Lucifer from the Bible.
Wow.
I like it. Mm-hmm.
One of the original archetypes of good to bad.
Was he
Yeah.
bad or was he
Yeah.
misunderstood?
No, he was bad.
Are they bad or they just misunderstood?
Or you could say Judas from the Bible too.
I didn't know who he is because
Judas was the guy that stabbed. Well, I guess it's not the Bible. Sorry, Judas stabbed Julius Caesar. Yeah,
wasn't there like 21 of them that stabbed Julius Caesar?
I'm getting confused.
Because I thought Julius Caesar got stabbed by his entire court.
This is why I tried to avoid history things.
Yeah, I did too. Because I had 2 or 3 history ones, and I was like, ugh.
You're the one that brought up Hitler first, right, monDe?
I did bring up Hitler. No, yeah, monDe brought up Hitler.
monDe brought
right
up Hitler
at the beginning.
first.
Yeah,
I did.
Right at the beginning.
And you brought up the Holocaust.
A lot. I did that a lot. Yeah, Judas betrayed Jesus because of he was possessed by the devil. Is what they're saying.
Also, it's a secondhand help.
Yeah, secondhand help.
He got himself a Jaden Yukid.
So,
Jaden,
monDe, do you want to spin the wheel or do you want to pick one?
I've been feeling like we've been doing a lot of like people. So let's do stuff. Let's do favorite best item to have in real life.
I like that.
Switch it up a little bit.
So in how we had it was video game item. Do you want to do one item from like anime, video games? How do you want to do it?
I mean, just probably for simplicity, we should probably keep it like video games.
I think video games is good.
Most animes have video games, so
Yeah.
Anime video games. Because if we start going into like TV shows, then we're gonna get into like
There's a lot.
like somebody be like, oh yeah, this is in Supernatural and it does this thing and it's like it's a magic gun that kills demons.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. And then you'll have to pick the categories that we vote on as well.
Okay.
Unless you want Silver and I too, or
Silver seems pretty good at setting up the cards, so I might get with him and see about setting up a card.
perfect.
yeah, we'll see you guys next week with some video game items we picked that we would like to have in real life.
Oh yeah.
Hashtag go Team Mage.
Hello, Chaotic here. Thank you for listening to Archetype Apocalypse. Mage, monDe, and Silver will be back to debate soon, but if you just can't wait to get your hands on more, check out the other projects within Mythic Gates on Discord or at monstersmythe.wixsite.com. A quick tip since Silver can't hear me either. If you sub to Patreon, you get episodes a week early. Don't tell them I told you. See you next time, AA Fiends.